Hello and welcome back. This week I want to teach you all about the Himber Vanish and the different ways you can use it and the best way to do it, and some tips and advice on how to get it down more quickly and get it looking better. So let's take a look. So the Himber Vanish itself was invented by a guy named Richard Himber. Now, the earliest reference I could find for the move was in the Pallbearers Review, which was a little written magazine or manuscript created by Carl Fulvis, and the Himber Vanish appears in there really as a click pass. This is 1976 in volume 10 of the Pallbearers Review. And then searching through the Conjuring archive, you can see the different various references for this move, which also it's used as a coin vanish itself, a type of retention of vision vanish. So it looks something like this, where the coin is dropped into the other hand and then finally shown to have vanished. So what's going on in this move? Now, some of you may be familiar with the move itself. You may be working on it, and maybe it doesn't look that good yet. So here, I want to give you some tips how to make it look the best, and then some ideas on how to use the move. So basically what's happening is the coin's being dropped from kind of a display position, and it's going to tumble over your fingertips doing a 1/2 revolution. So going from head side and landing on head side. Okay? That's what we're mimicking with this move, just like dropping the coin into the other hand. What's actually happening is, before that coin lands, the pinky of the same hand holding the coin is just straightening out so that the coin lands on the pinky. Okay? So the coin's being held, displayed. Maybe you're talking, maybe your routine has some patter, and you're dropping that coin and it's landing right on your pinky. Now, different people have different techniques for this. I generally move my pinky at the same moment as the coin is dropped. Now, Homer Leewag has a technique where he's almost catching it in midair. So as it falls, the coin has already made contact with the pinky before it's on the palm of the left hand. So you can start here and try to catch, or you can do it mid-air, mid-flight as the coin is falling. This is hard to do slowly, but in essence, pretend my hand is flat on the table. I'm dropping the coin, and as it drops, I'm sticking my pinky out, and then they land together. So it's not as much of a catch as it is a meeting in midair and then landing together. Now I can do it either way, and to me it looks very similar. Both ways are comfortable for me. I've practiced each over the years. I don't tend to do one over the other. I at this point unconsciously, maybe I do a hybrid of the two. But some tips for the Himber Vanish are thinking about your angle as you're facing the audience. This isn't a move you want to do straight on, because you don't want people to see the pinky necessarily. They may not know what's going on if they do see your pinky, but it's best to mimic the actual real action of dropping that coin. So straight on, the audience has the best view of the coin. They're getting the full broad side of the coin, and the coin is catching the most light if it falls like this. Now, if you do it completely sideways, that's the best view to hide the pinky, because your fingers of your left hand are here. There's no way they're going to see the pinky, but it's not the best view of the coin because now the coin is on edge towards the audience. I mean, they're going to see it fall. It's obvious the coin's falling, but like the classic retention of vision vanish, the reason it works so well is because of that light. That image is burned like the flash of a camera into the eyes of the spectator. That's what sells the retention of vision vanish. So to get the best of both worlds, think about doing this move at a 45-degree angle. So not 12 o'clock dead on, but more of a 10:30, 11 o'clock. So we're splitting the difference here between sideways and straight on to about right here. So the audience still sees a lot of the face of that coin, but you're also getting a lot of coverage with your catching hand for the other pinky. So that, like I said, it's the best of both worlds, and you're getting the retention of vision with catching the light, and you're getting the shielding with your left hand. Now, what I haven't talked about yet is what your right hand's doing after the move. So it's on your pinky. This will give you enough to practice with, just catching this. But after the move, your pinky curls back in, and eventually you want to get that coin into a nowhere palm. So third finger curl palm. That's not necessary. You can go right into just finger palm, but I think for most practical purposes, nowhere palm is where you want to get that coin. So then you can show this right hand in an empty fashion. So I like to break this move down into steps, which is a great lesson by Roger Klaus, is to, instead of doing one complicated move, think about moves in steps. So first I'll do the vanish, curl my fingers in so that the coin is not seen. And then as I make some movement, some gesture to reveal the vanish, as my hand comes back up, I'm positioning it at that point into nowhere palm, or maybe just a finger palm. Now right now I'm seated at the table, but a lot of the magic I do, I'm standing. So both hands would be up now. My right hand would swing down to my side. And that makes it much easier to swing the coin into nowhere palm through the action of raising my arm. So from the table, you're going to find it a little difficult to maneuver that into nowhere palm, but with just a little bit of help from the thumb, you can get it into position. Now you can do it with just the pinky, but I feel like it's just as much work as just using the thumb for a quick grab. So let me show you that in detail from the other side. So we talked about catching the coin on the pinky. Now you pull the coin in briefly. They're focused on this hand. And now it's just a little bit of help from the thumb to pull that coin into a third finger curl palm, or nowhere palm. and then finally revealing that it has vanished from that hand. Likewise, you could pull the coin in and then just pull it into a regular finger palm. Now, if you're standing, your right hand would drop to the side at this point, in which case just gravity would allow you to drop it into finger palm. And then as your right hand swings back up, maybe you snap to reveal the vanish. All the movement has been done in the action of lowering and raising your hand. Likewise with the nowhere palm method, at this point your right hand would drop to your side, and it's just a matter of pinning the coin with your thumb, straightening, and then re-gripping. And then you would come up from your side and then reveal the vanish. So another little idea kind of related to the Himber Vanish, but this predates the Himber Vanish. If you have the Tarbell books, the Tarbell Course in Magic, in volume 7, there's a little idea here from David Roth. This might be one of the first published things from David Roth. I'm not really sure. This volume 7 is first published in 1972, so this predates the Himber Vanish by 4 years. But it's not exactly like the Himber Vanish, but instead maybe this inspired Richard Himber. I don't know. That's my own speculation. But it looks something like this. The coin is clearly dropped into the left hand, and then with a rub, it's shown to have vanished. Now, I say it's a similar idea because we're using the pinky to steal the coin into the other hand. So it's dropped into this hand, but instead of stealing it out immediately, it's stolen out a second later. So all that's happening is that because of the way you're turned, your right hand is kind of blocking the view of the coin, and your left hand is loosening its grip, allowing the coin to slide out. And they can't see your pinky because your hand is pointed this way. And it's at that point the pinky steals the coin out in the action of rubbing the wrist here to cause the magic to happen. And then the vanish is revealed. So it's a nice little it's a nice little vanish to play with. I like this because it's as if you're giving the audience a backstage view or a view from your perspective of the coin vanishing. You're watching the coin vanish together. So as you turn, you show the coin in that hand, and then you just rub, and the coin vanishes. I actually just dropped it on the floor, but that looked pretty good. So that's it for this week, guys. Be sure to come back next week, and I'll give you some more tips on the Himber Vanish using it as a click pass and as a false count. I'll even open up some of my own work from this book I published about 4 years ago, which is an easier way to do the Himber count. So stay tuned till next week. I appreciate you watching.